All right, thank you very much. Um, yeah, thanks for the introduction. I'm pleased to be here. My name is Houssem Jerbi. I am from Smart PMO, which is an artificial intelligence company based here in Dublin. Maybe I'm amongst few people who didn't have to travel to the conference today. Um, a bit about me. My background is in artificial intelligence. I have worked in the AI sector for the last 17 years across different industries. So I led AI transformation projects with multinationals like Facebook. Um, Maybe you're curious about my shift to the construction industry, but that's an interesting story I would like to tell maybe perhaps after this presentation. But yeah, so I'm the founder of Smart PMO, and I am at the moment the head of product. So we have been in business since 2017. We're based in Dublin, as I said, but we're working with global clients. Um, since 2017, we've built the first AI, the first world AI platform that analyzes and understands construction schedules, and then provide predictions and assurance to optimize project planning and controls and risk management. So we work with both parties, so the general contractors, the client, and the PM consultancies. Now, while we are in business, so these are a few news clips that you can just Google about inefficiencies within capital projects. Obviously, the most popular inefficient project in Ireland is the New Children's Hospital, which has so far achieved 200% overrun. But this is, overruns in large capital projects. It's not an Irish problem. You can see here projects from UK, Germany, US, across rail, hospitals, airports, pharmaceutical, etc. So I think everyone in this room agree that this is a global problem. And these are numbers from McKinsey and KPMG research. But I guess that we all know these numbers, like 75% of very large projects are more than 10% delayed, and maybe around 60% of those large projects are more than 10% over budget. And this is due to different factors that are contributing to these overruns. For example, poor data quality. There is no single source of truth of data within the same organization in construction industry. Projects are complex. There are ineffective contingency plans to deal with uncertainties, and then also dark data. Some organizations are generating lots of construction data, but not just using them. And these problems arise throughout the project lifecycle, from planning to design, procurement, construction, etc. But if we focus on the procurement phase, just as an example, from a contractor and a client perspective, so you have at one side of the equation, the contractor who is trying to build a competitive bid, but this is, as we know, challenging because it's always under uncertainties. There is a large amount of variables, and this is always driven by human bias and then human guesswork. And then on the other side of the equation, you've got the client who is trying to pick the right contract to maximize the success of the project. But here as well, given the current way of working, usually clients will grant contracts based on cost, the cheapest cost. So we think that these dynamics should change. So the contractor should be able to take out uncertainties and know in a better the areas of risks, but also the areas of opportunities in the schedule so they can build a more competitive bid. And the client should be able to analyze, have an unbiased, data-driven assessment of the schedules and the cost estimates so they can maximize the certainty of the contract. We enable customers to solve this kind of problems through AI to learn lessons from past projects and current projects as well, and provide assurance and predictive power for other projects across different stages of the project. So our AI has demonstrated that it could deliver considerable benefits in terms of cost saving, project management workload reduction, the increase in risk precision, and reduction in contingency budgets. So basically, this is the traditional setup in any capital projects, whether you are a general contractor, a client. So there is a project management team that are using a set of software for schedules management, the likes of Primavera P6 or Microsoft Project or Power Project, and also software for cost management, lots of Excel spreadsheets, etc. So the way we think AI and the way we are using AI to help with the digitization process within construction companies is one through integrated reporting, and then also through AI learning. So we use AI to learn from historical projects, and then using these learnings to build what we call a corporate memory, and then use these learnings to provide assurance and predictions to optimize project planning and controls. Just to say that this is not meant to be a demo presentation, but I'm going to go through the workflow and the concepts. I'm happy to provide you with offline demo if you are interested. So in terms of the integrated reporting, so we've built data connectors that can automatically integrate with Oracle P6, Microsoft Project, Power Project, etc. And then it will automate the data ingestion process, including data quality checks, data integration, anomaly detection. And then we've got a normalization algorithm that will do, using natural language processing and machine learning, it will map projects that are using different structures, different WBS, and then it will provide a centralized view across the different projects, which allow us to provide integrated reporting at the portfolio and project levels for different roles in the company. Now, in terms of the AI learning, this is where we get our AI to analyze the historical projects. So it will marry data from different projects, ideally schedule and cost data, but it could also work with schedule-only data. And it will learn lessons at the activity level, and then it will generate and infer predictions at the activity, project, and portfolio level. So for project at different stages, it will do benchmarking, it will predict the outcome of activity and project, and then it will also measure the risks and generate recommendations. So I mentioned that it can help generate predictive insights throughout the project lifecycle at different stages. So for example, at a planning phase, it could help assess schedules based on historical projects. It could also help provide more accurate and intelligent cost benchmarking for those clients who are operating a portfolio of projects at different stages, and they have to do kind of business planning to prioritize and deprioritize different projects. So this could help them to do this exercise in a smart way by the optimization of different projects. And also it helps clients and contractors to benchmark or score the different contractors or subcontractors they're working with. Once the project moves to the execution or the construction phase, every time the progress of the project is updated, it will actually predict the duration, the end date of each activity and in turn of the project, and it will recommend actions to mitigate the risks of delays. And also, once the project is completed, it will help to provide a data-driven post-investment review. So on that, we all know that once the project is finished, clients and contractors are busy. They have to move fast to the next one. So they usually don't invest much time in this post-investment review. So this is where we help through AI, for the post-construction phase. It's by running our AI to provide an external view on the project. Basically, think of this as an AI audit or retrospective analysis of the completed project information that will provide a report saying what happened, what went wrong, and why. So basically ranging from schedule and cost variances from the initial scope to revision comparison to what went wrong and why, subject, of course, to data availability. So it's kind of automate root cause analysis to find the reasons of the delayed milestones. Now, in terms of, for this specific feature, it will be using only one single project data. This is a bit different from the planning and execution phase where we have to train our AI models based on historical projects to provide predictions. So I think couple of examples from recent implementation of our AI technology. So we worked with the transport department in the Middle East across their roads, tunnels, and bridges portfolio. And initially, they needed a reporting process and tool to provide reliable data on the performance and progress of the projects that they can report to the funding body. And of course, like any other client in the construction sector, the quality of the data was really bad, poor. They've got schedule and cost data that's scattered across different systems and sites, including Excel spreadsheets. Data is not standardized. So what we did was we streamlined the schedule and cost data extraction using the process, the workflow I showed earlier. And then we automated through our AI engine the data integration and validation checks. And we provided a reporting platform, basically an enterprise dashboard across the portfolio, the different projects, and it has different views for client and their contractors. So even contractors can track their projects using the client solution. That was implemented across 402 live projects across different sites. But the good information here, it was able to automate up to 42 to 45% of the PMO work that they were spending on integrating the data, data quality checks, and data integrity and reporting. Now, next, they wanted now to get to more on the predictive side, since like any other organization, they have recurring delays and cost overruns for their projects, and they had very poor contingency plans. And of course, again, the data quality was not that good. So here we got our AI engine to assess, to help them at the planning phase, to assess the construction schedules, to identify areas of risks, and measure those risks and create mitigation plans for each activity, and then predict the end date of projects, and also provide modeling of different risk scenarios. So this one helped the client to save cost per project for up to 7% through one, being more proactive in terms of predicting the risk and having a mitigation plan early. You know, the earlier you can mitigate the risk, the cheaper it will cost you. But also through the automation of a lot of, and the reduction of a lot of manual work. We were also able to save up to 83 days per project by identifying high-risk tasks and then creating mitigation risk plans for each of those construction activities. The contingency budget was reduced because they have more certainty and more assurance when they are approving work, but also from the planning phase when they are taking project, but also during the execution phase when they are approving work. And then we achieved up to 200 plus uplift in risk precision compared to QS and Monte Carlo. So now we've started recently work with a construction group here in Ireland for a different sector, which is pharmaceuticals, and they wanted to basically use our AI technology for a different problem here, which is providing, understanding the time and cost trends and reasons, but also providing granular benchmarking across their different projects. So on this one, they had different types of projects ranging from warehouse to API, fill and finish, laboratory, etc. And what we are doing at the moment is we are providing a portfolio benchmarking tool that, for example, can give you the duration by, for example, WBS level 2, how much it takes to, the design phase, the startup phase, the engineering phase, knowing that we are analyzing projects that have different structures. So it's really challenging to look at them from one perspective. And then also they are using this to compare quickly different versions of the same schedule, so they can see how mitigation of the risk has increased for example, the likelihood to hit the key milestones. And also the idea is to assess and measure the impact of change on the critical path and other KPIs in the pharmaceutical projects. So in a nutshell, we're using AI here. This is an example of use of AI within the construction projects. One, to provide a single objective, reliable reporting across different projects following different structures. And then two, to provide predictions and recommendations to de-risk projects, but also to deliver projects better. We don't, because usually conversations about AI comes down to conversation about data. So we don't create a new data. We don't ask clients to invest time and efforts to create data. We're using native project management software data by integrating this data through our in-house data connectors and APIs. And then also we have flexible data requirements because our tool can work with schedule and cost only, schedule or schedule only data. And it also generally, when we work with the client, we train our models based on their data so we can provide accurate and business, industry and business specific results. So that's why we augment sometimes our data with the client data with other data like weather or etc., depending on the sector. And yeah, so the AI algorithms, they are customizable. So when we work with a client, we customize the models this way. You can provide accurate results because there are lots of, there are some companies who are trying to provide benchmarking, market benchmarking data, but usually they will not learn through AI and they will just collect data from different companies they are working with, and they will provide average but in our, in our vision and the way we understand AI and the way we are building our AI, it's to be customized for every single client. And of course, usually the conversation about AI will bring up as well, data privacy concerns. So that's why we don't combine different clients' data. We train the given models for a given client based on their data, and we provide results based on their data. And our models could be deployed on a private cloud, but also on-prem. And this is one way how we are tackling the client concerns about data security and data privacy. Yeah, so thank you very much. As I said, this wasn't meant to be a demo presentation, but if you would like to see this in action, please drop us an email. We're happy to provide you with a demo. And we are currently, doing pilot projects in other industries in addition to roads, data centers, and pharma. If you would like to see the value that this tool can bring to your company or to your business, please drop us an email, and we would be happy to discuss this. Thank you. All right.